Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, and also gain real wealth in the process. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently trading at 48,151, down nearly 1%. Ethereum 34.40, down a little over 2%. Our community focuses on real wealth. Real wealth is much more than money. Real wealth is what makes life truly worth living, such as fulfillment and meaning, inner and outer peace, kindness, authenticity, courage, honor. All of these things are components of real wealth. A lot of people feel that when they become very wealthy, everything in life will just fall together for them. Not true, unfortunately. You bring yourself with you wherever you go, as we all do. Money magnifies personality issues. It doesn't solve them. Now, what do I mean by that? I'd like to share a little story about two people on a journey. They don't know each other, but they wanted to leave their town in search of a better town. What we have are three characters in this story. Peter put short. I'm showing a little bit about options. When you go short, you put in a put. And Calvin call long. Calls are long positions, basically. There's a little bit more to it, but that's a pretty good start. And Stephen King, the king of the village. No, it's not about Stephen King. I just liked putting his photo in there. Okay, now to the story. Calvin journeyed far from his past town in search of a new town where people were nicer. He went to the king of the village, whose name was Stephen. And the king of the village said, "Calvin, tell me about why you want to be here." And Calvin said, "Well, I just want to change." And the king said, "What were the people like where you were from last?" And Calvin said, "Oh, they were really nasty and angry and greedy, and I didn't like them very much. That's why I want to move." And then Calvin said, "Well, what are the people like here?" And the king said, "They're exactly the same here as where you left." And Calvin, with that, trundles off, and Peter then goes up the driveway to the king's house because he wants to move into that area. And the king again asks the same question. "What were the people like where you were last?" And Peter says, "Well, they were really caring and loving and kind and happy." And the king said, "Exactly the same here." This story about the journey signifies a really important part of life. It's literally, you can bring it with you. Many people say you can't bring it with you, but you can, and you do. Every day, we all do. So what does the story of the journey really mean? Calvin, for example, saw people as nasty and angry and greedy, quite unpleasant. Peter, from the same town as Calvin, saw the people as caring and loving and happy and kind. What's the difference between the two? It's just how people perceive things. Neither person is wrong or right. It's just about the past and past experiences. Ending the past gives you a future. If you think about your past, when you end the past, when you say, I actually want better, I want a happier life, that doesn't mean that you have to get rid of the people around you. Not at all. It's a purely internal perspective. You just choose a different path. The path of real wealth is all about inner and outer peace, fulfillment and meaning, purpose and fearlessness, empathy and love, generosity and selflessness. It's really all about a choice to be these things. This example is really about Rule 318. Real wealth is a hard-earned skill, and it is very hard to come by. Real wealth has to be earned. It cannot be purchased. By letting go, by being compassionate to the past, by saying, well, if things were better, that would have been great, but they weren't, and I'm prepared to move on now. That is a very powerful thing. but so difficult to do. But it's so powerful to do. The issue is that money doesn't solve anything. It just magnifies what is already there. Most people want money because they want to be respected and valued. They want affection and love. They want all sorts of things that are what life is realistically about. But if you don't worry about what you receive from other people, you just generate it yourself. You will find inner peace and meaning by conquering yourself. It's a very hard process, but so worthwhile. Turning to KS zone analysis, the 4 stages that all investors and traders progress through to become consistently profitable and attain real wealth. Moving from zone 1, when people are just starting, the fear zone, into zone 2, the blame zone, takes a lot of courage. You're putting your money on the line. With persistence, you can rephrase the concept of losses, and persistence gain access to probabilistic fearlessness in zone 3. You need a lot of patience and a lot of rules to understand how to keep yourself safe. But zone 4 is the real zone that makes life truly worthwhile. In life, there are a lot of boundaries and barriers that stand in our way to acquire real wealth. Past hurts, all things from the past that we don't like, are not happy about. Any type of blame that we place on people external to ourselves. It's not about blame, it's really about learning. And more importantly, forgiveness. A lot of bad things happen throughout life. Life is really tough, but when you can forgive yourself, when you can turn inwards and accept yourself just absolutely as you are, that's when real wealth starts to multiply through your life. All of us are imperfectly perfect. Each of us was put here for a reason, a good reason. One of the most powerful things that you can ever do is to just let go of the past. And that's more easily said than done. That's why real wealth is hard to come by and why it's so incredibly valuable. Talking about value, let's check out the markets and what is gold up to these days? Has it improved? All the markets are interconnected, so when we look at the S&P 500, the proxy for stocks, it's up 34%, gold is down 10%, Bitcoin is up 337% for the past 12 months. Turning to the KS model, a crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology, we can see we're in the bull market psychology segment of the market. Now let's see how we're going. Based on a realignment of on-chain metrics, we predict the Bitcoin price will rise up in this current month. What it realistically needs to do is to get above $52,000 and then make its way above 53. When it does that, it's all fresh air above. It can rally quite significantly. We can see that there's an underpinning level of support in the current price. We've also managed to break through a level of resistance. We're making lows, but they're higher lows in each successive day. This is going really well in terms of price action. We're seeking to take out this 52,000 or 51,870 mark. Getting there, we have to go through a bit of resistance first. We can see Bitcoin is currently trading at 48,211. We have this very nice upward support line. We're seeking to get to the support of 48,365 and then get above what are multiple levels of resistance, and they are important levels of resistance too. We need to see what happens. We know the price always has a negative bias, so it wouldn't be at all surprising if price makes a play for the 50,000, spikes down so everybody thinks it's going short, and the institutions come in and bid it up through 53,000. Just keep your eye on this. The support levels below Bitcoin's price: 47,819, 47,206, 46,566, 45,830, 45,268, and the key one at 45,000. Overall, the price structure looks really healthy. There's a bit of fear, uncertainty, and doubt floating around about Tether, basically crypto's largest stablecoin. If there's any problem with Tether, we will see it in the futures pretty much immediately. What we see here is there's no substantial open interest. We see no issue with Tether at the moment. Turning to total crypto market cap, the total market of around 12,000 cryptos is currently $2.176 trillion. Not bad. 2.176 trillion is looking pretty good. We have this level of resistance that's impacting those 12,000 cryptos at the moment. As soon as we get over here, we're going to be looking really good. Just as a bit of a pro tip, when we get the crypto market gets above 2.4 trillion, I believe the fireworks will start. We have positive price momentum driving upward prices at the moment. The Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio SSR oscillator is coming up. That's driving higher prices. It's supporting it. Also, when we look at futures open interest across all exchanges, we can see it's about 15.49 billion currently. That's also looking good. Let's get the latest figure. The real-time figure is even better, 16.13 billion. This is very supportive of upward price momentum as well. As it's the weekend, we don't have a lot of liquidations. That's really common on the weekends. We can see the 24-hour liquidation amount is $130.38 million, occurring across 37,740 trading positions. Over the past 12 hours, around 70% of liquidations were long. We can see we don't have much playing in here at the moment. That's all completely fine. That's normal for the weekend. I've drawn in a couple of key lines for you as well for Ethereum. Ethereum is currently trading at 34.42, support below 33.94, 33.67, and a key at 33.19. What we're really looking at here, this blue line, this structural resistance line, which would come into play around 35.55. That's a pretty important thing. When Ethereum's price gets over that, it will have surmounted quite an obstacle. I would anticipate that what we could see in price action is a move towards that level of 35.55, a rejection back to say 35.15, and a forging up to the next major resistance at 36.49. Let's have a quick look at the Bitcoin and Ethereum options. For Bitcoin options, we can see the options expiring at the end of the month. Max paying price 44,000. There's quite a few calls up here in the $50,000 plus range. We can see total open interest 64,542.5 and the put call ratio 0.54. Having a look at Ethereum options, for options expiring September 24th, the end of the month, we can see the max paying price is 28.80. That's the price at which the majority of the options expire worthless. Total open interest 450,977 and the put call ratio 0.69. Let's head across to CoinMarketCap and look at the top performers. Some people ask me, Ken, what are these stars here? Is that a secret hint you're giving us? Actually, not so much. It's really about Grayscale is investing in these particular ones and some other funds. I just thought it was interesting to point that out to you. Okay, let's look at the top coins. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Binance Coin, Tether, XRP, Solana, Polkadot, Doge, USDC, and AVAX. Let's check out the top 24-hour percent gainers. Atom, OMG, Rev, Algo, Nia, Cello, Sol, XMR, Quant, AMP, and Tezos. Let's now check out the greatest percent gainers over the past 7 days. Ren, Atom, Audio, CRV, Synthetics, Zen, AVAX, ICX, Cake, Rune, and Sushi. Let's go the other way. Greatest losses over the past 24 hours. Ren, Phantom, Synthetics, Rune, Shiba, Decred, MDEX, Harmony, HBAR, Elron, and Leo. Let's check it out for the past 7 days. What are the greatest losses there? Arweave, Terra, Harmony, FTX Token, MDEX, Phantom, Solana, Elron, Cardano, Waves, and Rev. Turning to Binance derivatives, we can see 24-hour trading volume 43.4 billion, 24-hour open interest 10.2 billion. What we're interested in looking at is the change in the price of the contract for the past 24 hours. That's the derivatives contract. We can see Bitcoin is negative 1.1%. Ethereum is almost, well, it's double that, negative 2.3%. That means there's more downward or negative price pressure on Ethereum relative to Bitcoin. We're not seeing a lot of positive momentum under the crypto hood. Let's see the negative side. Also, we're not seeing a lot of negative price pressure. The greatest one is on Ren at the moment. The community has really been loving Rule 109, enhanced pattern recognition. Let's get into it. Let's have a look at the top 33 cryptos on Binance. Out in front over the past 14 days is Algo up 64.2%. We see Atom up 61.7%. AVAX up 55.5%, followed by XTZ, Sol, Luna, DOT, FTT, TRX, and then Bitcoin. Now, maybe I could tell you what I see when I look at this diagram. What I'm particularly interested in is are the top performing cryptos. Let's have a look at how we can use pattern recognition analysis to see what they're actually doing. We can see here that Algo, which is in this blue line, is overcoming resistance. It's actually broken out. It's like a bad breakup, bad relationship. No, it broke out. It came back and retested and resumed off. This is a very powerful indicator. Algo is signaling that it wants to party. It's party time for Algo. What do we see next? What about Atom? What is Atom up to? The structure of Atom we can analyze in the same way. We can draw, for example, a resistance line from that peak to that peak, and we see it's cut through. Now, what is this telling us? We can see Atom's line is the gold line coming through here. It didn't even come back and retest. It's got a lot of power in it. Now, we just have to keep our eye on it and see what it's doing, but that is very, very positive. What about AVAX? What's AVAX up to? We can do this a slightly different way. We can draw from a low up, and we can see that we've got fairly reasonable support under here. Price has come up, bounced off support, and it's coming back. We just have to bear in mind that this is a lower high. This is a high, this is a high. We want to see an upward price momentum here. We don't want AVAX to break this support line because that would signify it wants to go down. I hope that's helped. That's what I look at when I look at these charts. Let's have a look at the top 8. What we're seeing on a 2-hour chart, this is Bitcoin, Ethereum, ADA, BNB, XRP, Doge, DOT, and Sol. There's a number of ways that we can look at charts like this. It's very good to start with the recent price action. Now, what is happening with Bitcoin? If you drew a line in here, what could it look like? For example, if it was a fairly tight resistance line, it could look something like that. What is this telling you? It's telling you that Bitcoin has just broken out from resistance. Coming back in for a retest would be fair. And this is actually, that's what we saw playing out in the top 33 as well. What about having a look at Ethereum? What's happening here? If we drew a resistance line down here, what has it done? Can you see that? What is it looking like? Something like this. Always remember, you're an artist. You can draw whatever line you like. I draw it like this because it actually touches the most tops. If I drew it up further, it would break more quickly, but it doesn't give me such a strong signal. We can see Ethereum's price is recovering. What do we know about the association between Bitcoin and all other alts? We know Bitcoin moves the market. What I've just done is to draw resistance lines in here for each of the charts. Now, I've been doing this for many decades. You may draw many different lines, and that's fine. Just think about, you're an artist. You can draw whatever line you like, so long as it works for you. That's the key. Now, what do we see here? Bitcoin is improving in price. As Bitcoin improves in price, what do we see with the others, with the other alts? What are they doing? They're doing different things, aren't they? We can see Doge is showing a degree of weakness. It's trying to get up there, but it's struggling somewhat. We can see XRP moving up. We can see DOT still under resistance. Sol under resistance too. But there's a couple of things to take note of. Where is the support in all of this? For example, if we look at Sol, where is the support? Where is that coming through? Now, this is just a reasonably loose line. I could draw this more tightly, but it gives you a concept of there is support around that $160 mark. It's very normal for price to rally up and then come back to support. It's quite common. And what are we seeing up with DOT? What does that look like? It looks something like this. We can see DOT's price has support around the $34 mark. Let's look across to Bitcoin. A key issue here is what is the support of Bitcoin. We can see Bitcoin is going up. We can see DOT has that support as well. Sol has the same kind of support. There's different support lines coming in. Some are relatively flat, as we can see, but all are basically trending upwards at the moment. We can see ADA starting to take off. Go ADA! This is because no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. We always bear this in mind. We can see this 3 big pumps in Bitcoin's price. If you look at your beloved altcoin, if it's in this list, you can see when Bitcoin was coming up, the other ones were coming up too. Just cast your eye across any of the alts. You can see it. Look at it. It just plays out every time down to the per second basis. It is a powerful thing to understand the properties of Bitcoin and how it impacts the market. That's why we spend so much time on it, because I want you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. And the best way to do that is to transfer skill. I'd like to thank the very generous and kind community members who have reached out and bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. Thank you so much. It means a lot. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. Please say hi and let me know if you have any questions. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful hints and links in the description of this video. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.